Hi class, welcome to Act 2 of the play Fire and the Rain. So when we ended Act 1, we ended with the very gruesome murder of Yavakri by the Kritya that Raibhya invoked, the Brahma Rakshasa that he invoked, killed Yavakri, and we saw at the end of Act 1 that he's lying dead in the arms of his father-like figure Andaka. And we saw that our Aravasu has reached there at that particular point when he finds Yavakri dead and he's not able to save him. Okay, and because he is a Brahmin man and he sees that his cousin is dead, he decides to do the cremation. He decides to burn Yavakri's body by doing the proper cremation rites. So Act 2 begins in the evening of that same day, and this is the village square. Remember, this was the particular day when Aravasu was supposed to go and meet the elders of Nithilai's tribe to ask for her hand in marriage. Now, he has gone to that same village square and he sees that Nithilai's brother and a few of his friends are waiting there, and they are talking in very low tones. The brother, Nithilai's brother, he looks up and he sees Aravasu in the distance and he says, "He's come." And friends are saying, "Oh God, now." Their tone itself tells us that something is wrong. Okay. As Aravasu comes running, sweating, panting, okay, they do not greet him, they do not say anything. So Aravasu says that, "Isn't this where the meeting is going to be?" And they say, "Yes." "Then where is everybody?" And he says, "Everybody has gone home." "But the elders," Aravasu does not understand. And brother says that the elders waited for you the whole day, but you did not come. Okay. And Aravasu apologizes. He says that it's not my fault. What happened was, but the brother is not ready to listen. But Aravasu says, it does. Please listen to me. I would like to explain to the elders. Okay. So, and he says that you can judge for yourself that it was not actually my fault. When he was on his way to this elders meeting, he saw Yavakri who was running, and he knew that Yavakri's life was in danger because of the Kritya that his father has invoked. Yavakri was scared and he was running, and Aravasu felt like he should help him. Okay, so he ran after Yavakri, but by the time that he reached him, Yavakri was already killed. He was lying there dead. All right, blood was spurting from his back, and remember, they are living in a very remote area. So because his body was fresh blood was coming from his body, wild animals had already started to come. Remember, there's a famine going on. No one has enough to eat. Obviously, if humans don't have enough to eat, animals also won't have anything, right? So hyenas and wolves, they were all coming near to attack Yavakri, and there was only that old blind man who was so shocked by his death that he was not reacting. He was sitting stone dead. Okay, so that's why he had to cremate the body on the spot. He could not do anything else. "What would you have done?" he asked the brothers, and the brothers agree that what Aravasu did was right. So Aravasu said that, "I knew that you would understand, and I know that the elders will also. I will go to all of their houses, each of their houses. I will touch their feast. I will ask for forgiveness, and I will tell them. Maybe the elders can come again tomorrow." Okay. So the brother asks, "Meet again to do what?" And he says, "To bless me and Nithilai." All right. So that is when the brother tells him that because Aravasu did not reach there on time, the council meeting decreed that Nithilai would marry another boy of their own tribe. Aravasu is very shocked to hear that, but the brother says that there is nothing to do because that is the decision of the elders. And Aravasu said that, "But it's not sunset yet." And Nithilai had told him that the council will go on till sunset, and he is here before that. And the brother says that he agrees. All right, but the problem is that since they were waiting the whole day, the father was very, very angry. Father of Nithilai was very angry, and he felt humiliated. He because he had called this council and this young man is not showing up, so he felt humiliated, and he felt like he's going to cheat. Aravasu is going to cheat on his daughter. So he says, "This daughter of mine has made me a laughing stock in the eyes of the world. She has made me ashamed." And that's why he says that, "I'm willing to marry her off to anyone who will take her." That is the declaration that he makes, that anyone who is ready, I will give them my daughter. All right, and fortunately, a nice young man from one of their relatives who belonged to their own tribe stepped forward, and Nitilai was to be married to that man within a few days. All right, and Aravasu was you know, very sad. But the brother says that nothing can be changed now. The decision has already been made. If only you had come half an hour earlier. And Aravasu says, half an hour, half an hour. Please don't say that. At least can I talk to that young man? I will explain to him. Or at least let me meet your father and your elders. Let me meet Nitilai. But they do not agree to anything else, anything that he says. He even says that he will offer his body to your gods, not his own gods, but the tribal gods. He'll do anything as penance. He just wants Nitilai, but no one listens to him, and the brother hits him and he falls down. All right, and he says, you've caused enough trouble, Brahmin. Okay, you have caused enough trouble for us. Now go away. Nitilai is to be married already. You have caused shame for us and our family in the eyes of the tribe, because you two are so close. People are already talking about the two of you. Don't shame her father by shouting her name in public. Okay, so he asks, can't I meet her? And he says, no, that cannot be happen. Maybe after her wedding you can. If her husband and she want to meet you, then you can. Okay, because that is their own decision. And when he asks about Nitilai, the brother says that it has been a terrible day. She is exhausted. She has been continuously crying. Don't wait here and make it worse for her. Go away. All right. So Aravasu starts to go, but still he keeps saying that it's not my fault. And that's when the brother grabs him and he throws him out from that place. Aravasu stumbles home. Okay, he's very dejected. He's in despair. He doesn't know what to do, and he reaches home somehow, and he sees that his father Raibhya is still awake. Aravasu throws himself down in the corner of the veranda. Okay, and that is when they hear some footsteps. Who do these footsteps belong to? It is Parvasu, who has returned back home. Okay, and Raibhya is shocked, and he scolds Parvasu first, saying that how could you come? Okay, you have broken the rules. You are defying the gods. A chief priest of the sacrifice is not supposed to come back running home. Okay, why did you come? And Parvasu says that I just felt like coming home. Just walked out with a ritual bracelet on. So you think this is all a joke? You think the sacrifice is a marketplace? Okay, or maybe they have thrown you out because they have heard of your wife's story and her reputation there, so they've thrown you out. Okay, but Paravasu says that yes, they have heard the news, but they have not thrown me out. I came out of my own will. Okay, and he says that no one is going to know. I came out by night. I have hidden and come, and no one is going to know if I return by morning, by dawn. Raibhya says no one need know. The chief priest of the royal sacrifice sneaks out at night, crawls home, his face covered like a leper. Mohoke olpiche ingane crawl cheythu veetlekku vannal, you think if people might not know, but you think the gods won't know. They will retaliate. You think that the gods will agree to the sacrifice now after you have done something like that? Why have I fathered two such imbeciles, such useless sons I have, he says. Okay, and that is when Raibhya's true colors is coming to the light. He says that I told the king, mark my words, my son defecates wherever he goes. Okay, he makes everything impure. Don't choose him. But still the king chose you. And Parvasu says that yes, it's true, the king would have preferred you, father, as the chief priest, but because it was supposed to be a 7-year long sacrificial rite, they thought it was better to choose a younger person. I see. So he's getting angry. Raibhya says that, so you and your king decided that I was not going to live for 7 years. Look at me now. 7 years are still over and I am still here. I will live even after my sons are dead. I will feed on their dead souls. He says he is a very, very cruel, proud man, right? That is what we understand. And he says that he's even attracted to his daughter-in-law, and that also keeps him alive. He says the fact that he has a very beautiful daughter-in-law who's young, and there are many men who are coming after her, so he's also interested in her. That's what keeps him alive. And Paravasu says that I need to talk to my wife, and he says that you and your wife, you disgust me, I'm going. And he says Paravasu tries to stop him, saying that it's night, the jungle is nearby, it's dangerous, and he tries to send Aravasu with him, but Raibhya refuses and he goes away. Paravasu and Aravasu also greet each other, and Paravasu notices that Aravasu does not look good. His eyes are bloodshot. He thinks that he's not sleeping, but he does not realize that Aravasu has his own problems. And that is when he says that you love theater. How can you be disturbed by sleep at night? So he says that I love but theater, but I do not act because you ask me not to. And that's when Paravasu is shocked. I told you not to act. He does not even remember. But this shows us how important Paravasu's words are for Aravasu. Aravasu once, he was dancing with the hunters, and that's when Paravasu saw him and said that if you value your Brahminhood, do not act on stage. That was a very, very passing remark, perhaps, for Paravasu, but for Aravasu, it was a very important advice that his brother had given, and he would never disobey his brother. All right. And Paravasu says that how silly of you to have taken me at my word. If you had asked this same question again and again, why did you never ask me again? And he says that whenever you ask a question, when you repeat a question again and again, even if you are not changing the question at all, the answer to the question will keep changing with a whole new universe of meanings that will be created. Okay. But Aravasu does not understand all this because he is a simple man, right? So he goes away and he says that I'll go to the tamarind tree, I'll give you space to talk to your wife, call me if you need me. Paravasu, when he has come, he's carrying bow and arrows with him. All right. Vishakha brings a pot of water, and for a long time she keeps trying to incite him. Okay. She says that, oh, you are now back. I don't know anything about you. I only hear bits and pieces of news from others who go to the sacrifice and come back here. And are you all right? Are you fine? She asks. All right. Are you well? Or do you drive yourself to the point of illness like a demon? Okay, I was sure you wouldn't come home even if I were on my deathbed. So even if I was dying and you heard that I was dying, I was sure that you would not come home. But my fornication, my illicit relationship with your cousin has brought you home. That was enough, wasn't it? Okay, and she's not ashamed. She's not guilty of this because she says that whatever you heard about Yavakri and me was not a rumor. It was very true. Okay, and she says Yavakri and you resemble each other. You are very similar. You go away when you feel like it, you come back when you feel like it without any explanation, and you expect me to listen to everything as though your Indra is explanation enough. You do everything saying that Indra is important for you, but he isn't for me. He is not a good enough explanation for me, Vishakha says. Okay, he asks, why did you go away like that? We were so happy. Why did you have to go away like that without any explanation? So Paravasu says that your fool of Yavaraki may have his own ways to approach God. Okay, he must have stood in a circle of fire. He must have stood for 10 years trying to bend God's will. Okay, and he must have achieved it by torturing himself. There are so many different techniques to make gods appear. All right, but Paravasu is not interested in such kind of austerities. He's not interested in begging in front of God and asking, doing all of these torturous exercises and then finally extending a begging bowl and asking, give me rains, give me sons, give me wealth. Okay, he's not interested in that. He is a very proud man, and he says that I'm not going to beg like a common human being. I despise it. He said, I went to the fire sacrifice because it is a formal rite, it is a ritual. Okay, there it is structured. What I'm supposed to do is already structured. I know that when I do this will be the result. I don't have to wonder. Okay, there is no emotional acrobatics like how Yavaraki had to do. Okay, there is a rule and a structure that I have to follow. There are mantras that I have to chant, and I will do it exactly in that manner, and that process will bring Indra to me. And if anything goes wrong, it is me myself who can make it correct. There is no one else who can. Okay, so I as a man will be important enough, and when the moment comes and Indra does finally appear in front of him, it will be as an equal, not as as Yavakri was begging in front of Indra. He will be an equal to Indra, and he will be able to ask as an equal. All right, and he shall confront Indra in silence. He will not even beg, he will not even ask. Okay, so he says that is what I wanted, and that is why I went for the fire sacrifice. Okay, so Vishakha says that, all right, and will you become immortal then? Will you never die? after that moment. And he says, yes, at least for that one moment when I meet Indra and stand as an equal to him, I will be immortal. All right, and for that you must break all the rules. Okay, so for everything, so for that one moment of immortality, you're going to give everything up, you're going to break all the rules. All right, and then she asks, will you come home once the fire sacrifice is over?